We're going to use the latest version of WebGPT in the ChatGPT Plus store to build us that classic game of Flappy Bird. Now I'm going to share the transcript of this chat conversation wherever this video is posted, but you'll notice that just from a simple one-sentence prompt, WebGPT builds itself an action plan, sets some next steps, and then continues developing on my cue. Then performs a series of back-end actions deploying the game to a convenient no-code interactive playground, and just spits me out a link where I can play test it. And as promised, I have a bird object that can flap up and down. That's pretty much it. And now we'll pick up where it left off, where it defined its next steps as adding in the pipe objects, as well as collision detection and a scoring mechanism for the game. Now for the video's sake, I'm going to fast forward through this 3-step multi-turn AI agent process that WebGPT utilizes to keep the development phase on track and on target. Basically, this process allows code review to happen, so it minimizes error rates, as well as it allows advanced features like committing of changes, version control, and reverting of changes if there is actually an error that does get introduced. Now, in this iteration, we're testing the pipe obstacles have been placed. It looks like collision detection is just relegated to the JavaScript console, so there's probably not going to be anything visual to see and observe there. But yes, the pipes are here. The vertical pipe gap spacing is a bit wonky still, but this is a great first step. LLMs aren't perfect, and this is something that we can go back to our chat conversation and just give natural language feedback and continue to iterate until we're happy. So in this step, I'm basically telling the LLM that yes, I want to add the actual collision detection between the pipes, and I'm describing how I want the game over sequence and the game resetting to behave. I'm also taking this opportunity to be very specific and verbose about how I'm dissatisfied with the current vertical pipe gaps through which the birds are going to be maneuvering. And WebGPT gives me an updated link to playtest these new changes. Let's take a look. Now, the actual space of the gaps between the top portion of the pipe and the bottom portion does seem to be more consistent. Now, there's also too much consistency in terms of the overall vertical alignment of all of the pipes. There should be more variance in that. Also, I noticed that as I collide with the pipes, the game over screen kind of just flickers on the screen, and obviously the whole game should freeze, and I should be able to click or tap to replay. So I'm going to provide all this feedback to the LLM in just natural language. I'm going to, with great detail, describe what I mean by where those pipe gaps should be placed on the vertical relative to each other. I'm also going to specify how I want to tighten up that gap a little bit so that the gameplay is challenging but fair. Mention that the game over screen should be consistent and not just flicker when you hit the pipes. And I'll slip in a little aesthetic polish as well to make sure that the game resembles somewhat more closely to the original. Now this round of changes was quite significant, and yet it handled it like a champ. Spits us out a final link to test the game. And there we have it. The colors are more accurate. I like the variance in the vertical pipe gap placement. I think it's dialed in perfectly now. I think the game over screen works a lot better. I can click or tap to play again. I'll post a link to this playground so you can try AI-built Flappy Bird yourself, and you can try WebGPT in the custom GPT store of ChatGPT Plus today.